Hey everyone, Craig Mullins here. I'd like to share a story and some ideas about the notions of struggle and freedom. So one time, in this was in Toronto. I used to live in Toronto, and in the first probably 5 years of my building my bodywork practice, and I do a form of bodywork called Rolfing, also known as structural integration. And so I was in Toronto and I was at the print shop getting some brochures printed, probably the fourth or fifth time I had done that. And so anyway, I'm in the print shop. Well, and there's this guy there, and he kind of a dynamic, fun guy, and I got to know him a little bit. Was in there. I ended up that became my main print shop. And one day we're just chatting a little bit, and he suddenly says, "Yeah, I'm a struggler. I'm a real struggler." And I just remember that just really just lit me up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so cool that he said that he just named that about himself. Because I'm a struggler too. I just had never had thought of it that way before. Well, like I never recognized, oh yeah, like I just struggle so much. Well, so that was a bit of I don't know, maybe a bit of a turning point in my life of learning to just be okay with who I am and how I am. Well, so that's the notion there is that for me is that recognition of how things are and saying, okay, I'm a struggler. Right there is freedom from the struggle. And I spent so many years of my life, decades of my life, trying to end my struggles, like trying to I just want to become more peaceful. I just don't want to have all this tension all the time. I became deeply involved in healing of all kinds of different kinds. And those things worked slowly but surely, but they weren't like the big relief. And the big relief came when I really learned to say, this is kind of how I am. This is kind of how I'm built. And then making friends with how I am. And I'm still I've got so much struggling energy in me. A lot of people say, oh, you seem so peaceful. Like, if you could feel what I feel, I mean, I don't know what other people feel, but I just feel so much struggle in my being. And, well, and some peace too. But anyway, well, so the notion of like, okay, there's our difficulties, our struggles, and then there's freedom. And the proposition I'm making here is that the big freedom comes from making friends with who we are. And then that friendly relationship with ourselves gives us more of a good vehicle to make our life journey. We can navigate with more clarity when we have friendship with ourselves. Something like that. So I wanted to share that. And thank you for watching. Wishing you well. And bye for now.